In this demo, we're going to cover how to take your bottle design, import it to a Behance template, and then export that as a JPEG and upload it online to your Behance portfolio. So to get started, you'll need to go on Canvas site for the class and go under week 6, final. And the first thing you want to do is, if you currently don't have a Behance account, to sign up for one, and there's a link under week 6 in class Tuesday. And after you've signed up for an account, the next step you want to do is download the appropriate Behance design template. In the demo today, I'm going to cover the beer bottle, since the majority you're working with the beer bottle. But again, if you have the can, the wine, juice, or the hot sauce, the same process pretty much applies to what you'll be working on. So you download what you need. And then I would highly suggest, just to get organized, I have my Behance template for beer, to put it in a final folder, and then also take all your final designs and put them into a folder as well. So again, within my design and type, I just have a final Behance folder with my template, but also all my final designs. So first thing we want to do is open the beer template, and I put together an example layout that fits all the parameters for Behance, which is 1400 pixels high, and the max height you can do is about 8100 pixels, which is actually about 130 inches. So it's a pretty big document, but again, this document is set up at 72 dpi. So across the top, you'll have the title, and when we did our initial write-ups about our brewery, you'll have a little deck, probably about 3 or 4 sentences about your brewery, winery, or juice company. And you'll want to put this detailed information in place here. And then also a logo for the brewery, winery in this space as well. So again, this is all in one folder. You can control the color of the type and even the type that you set with. This is just a good example to get started with. Then in the example layout, each one of the templates has 5 bottles. So what we want to show is an overview of all your designs, and then as you scroll down, you get the detail of each one. So again, we're only looking at this at 50%, so on Behance, you'll definitely be able to see the detail of both your illustration and your type and image design. So to get started and putting this together, obviously again, fill in all this information and also the logo, and you'll want to open each one of your designs in Photoshop. So I've taken a lot of time to put this wonderful design together for all of you. I hope you can tell the difference between each one of my excellent type choices and also my really amazing illustration skills. But we have my 5 bottle designs that I'm working with, and the easiest way to get it from the actual designs that we've done into the overall template is to actually merge the bottle and the overall design together and then duplicate it over to the actual layout. So to go through that, I'm just going to turn off the example layout of the bottles and kind of walk through that process. So you have the option of actually having the background on or off. Now that option is completely up to you. In all the examples, I turn the background off just so you again can really just focus on the design that you've created. So what I'm going to do is select the 2 layers. I'm just going to merge those layers down. This flattens your design. Again, make sure that you have a saved version that isn't flattened, or just don't save this version after you're done. Last thing we want to do is be putting a final Behance template together and actually merge down our layers. So be careful when doing this. So again, I have it merged down. What I'm going to do is duplicate the layer, and I'm going to destination into my Behance template. I'm just going to hit OK. Again, the layer name that you have here will be what it's called, duplicated. So this might be, you just might want to label it bottle 1 or the title of the beer. Once I do that, I'll go back to the Behance template. You can see that this is quite large. So bring it over. I'll Command T to scale. And then if you hold Shift while you're scaling it, it constrains it. I'll hit return. I can look at the bottle layout and realize I did a little too far. So I'll Command Z. Hit OK. Hit return. Line that up. So if you want to be really precise, you can come in and draw a guide at the top and the bottom of your bottle. Also, you want to look closely and make sure it's centered within the guides. This will allow you to get a nice, even presentation of the 5 bottles. I'm going to go to bottle 2 and do the same thing again. Go back to the template, hold Shift, Command T. And the third one, same process again. Merge your design down. I think you're getting the gist of how we're putting this together. Again, merging down your layers. Then you duplicate it and you target the template. Command T, scale it down. Return, and then just look really closely to make sure the spacing is as even as it can be with the grid. So again, you just want to go through and double check that all the heights are equal, all the bottoms are aligned, and the spacing is as equal as it can be. A second step after you have your 5 in place is you want to duplicate it again because we want the detail of the image. So I'm just going to duplicate that, target the beer template again, hit OK. You can see this guy is pretty big. I'm going to turn the template on and see it to scale. Again, Command T. Pretty much the bottle will fit within the guides. And again, we'll continue the same process. You get it close to get started and then go through and tweak it to make it perfect in the end. So I can turn off the example layout, have everything in place. Again, it's just a rough draft. You can go in and tweak it to the template and to size. Also just looking at consistent spacing between each beer bottle and its presentation. And then one of the key things is not to actually change the width or the height of the template. So under canvas size, we don't want to mess with the pixel dimensions of this overall document. So just leave them be. Again, stick with the basic presentation of 5 in a row and 5 down. If you choose to use the background with the images, feel free to. You're just going to have to edit and kind of tweak them to get them to work. Again, with the bottles for the juices and the boxes, the scale and the size is a little bit different. Same with working with the cans. But if you just follow the template, you should be able to merge your layer, then duplicate that layer over to your Behance template and align it and scale it appropriately. And pretty straightforward way to present it. After we get all of our design perfect and in place with our logo, our text, our title of our company, The next thing we want to do is do a save for web. And so if you're using CC 14, like I have, there's a save for web under file. If you're using 2015, I think it says legacy, then it'll drop over and say save for web. So again, all you have to do is do Shift Option Command S, and it'll give you the save for web regardless of which version you're in. So again, in 2014, file save for web. In 2015, again, this is off the top of my head, I think it says legacy, then save for web. So once we hit save for web, you'll see that our pixel width is 1400. It's set at 72. We have 8,000 pixels tall. The key thing with uploading to Behance is making sure that your file size is under 5 megabytes. None of you should really have that issue. If you do, under our JPEG setting here, and we want to make sure we're saving as a JPEG because it makes the file format smaller, you can slightly change the quality, probably down to 90 would get it to work. See how that went from 2.5 to 1.8 megabytes. Again, if you can have it at 100, set it at 100. Then all we're going to do is hit save. And again, we want to just save it in the same folder that we were working with for our final. And this should just be Behance. .jpg. So again, just make sure it's whatever you want to title it, .jpg, and hit save. So now we'll jump over to Behance and go through setting up a project. So I'm sure some of you have done this before, but just want to go through. It's pretty straightforward in getting this set up. So just want to click the Add Work button. So if you're not logged in, make sure you log in. And you just need to hit Add Work. And the upload file should pop up. And if that doesn't pop up, you should get something like this where it's ready to put an image in place. And now I just have to find my final design JPEG. Select that, hit open, and it starts to upload it. And there we have it. There's this controller here where you can actually shrink it down. We made ours at 1400, so it would do a full bleed image. So once we have that in place, you can see our design. Then we can hit save and continue. And so you can create your own cover image, or you can crop one. So based on the template we made, you can easily select your 5 beers as your cover image. And you'll want to title it, because it won't let you save it otherwise. So I'll crop and continue. And we'll want some sort of description. So I think the best solution for you guys is to copy and paste this description of your brewery into the project description. And then keywords can be like beer, label, or just label design. Whatever spot illustration, whatever you want to call it, whatever will get you traction and hits for your fields, and then just go to next. I guess we have to have a field, so I'll say graphic design, illustration, sure, done. And then you can disable comments if you want, and you'll hit next. And then you can credit people if you want, types of industry, brands, what tools were used, and if you've actually partnered with anybody. Then I'll hit next. And here's where a license type kind of kicks in place. And you might want to look into this because some people can find your work and reuse it without your permission. So you may want something where it's non-commercial, you have all the rights to it. So again, this might be the best option for you. And then all you have to do is hit publish. And then you'll take this URL here that shows up, and you can copy that, or you can just find it in your portfolio now. And our last step will be under what's going to be due this week. And unfortunately, from the faculty point of view, I can't show you where to submit this, but under your bucket project, there will be a website URL submission, and that will be where you have to submit the URL of your Behance project for a grade. So again, I can help you with that. Just get everything uploaded here, and then look for that ping from the Canvas to upload your link. All right, good luck everyone. That is our demo for how to get your designs uploaded to Behance.